Now I will show you how to create semantic linkages between codes and between quotations. So let me start with codes. I will first of all create a new network, going to the top under Home, New Entities, New Network, and I will call this Funding. Well, funding sources, let's call it. All right, so the network editor has been created, so I have that space there. Now I want to insert elements into this network. So let me bring in this code. Let me bring in this code, this one as well as this one. All right, so now I have them all in this network editor, and I will start making connections. So this is part of interpretation, okay? This is part of interpretation. This is making sense of the data. So I will create a very typical tree structure, but as I do that, I need to tell you that you are not restricted to connecting one code to the other as a, in a taxonomic way, like a tree. But you can really link codes to codes in any way you want. For example, what is meant by one concept is contradicting what is meant by another one. So that is not really a tree structure. So this is an opportunity for you to freely represent your understanding of the data by building a representation of how these concepts relate to each other. So what I will do in this very typical tree structure, I will say, well, funding sources, and I drag and drop that particular, that circle, red circle there, and I will drop it on the target code, which is funding. And the software provides me a number of different relations. I can create my own relations, but these are the ones that come with ATLAS.ti. Am I saying that funding sources is contradicting what is meant by funding? No. Am I saying that funding sources is funding? No. Is it associated with funding? No. It could be, but not really. Is it a cause of? Not at all. Is it part of funding? Yes, I think so. Is property? No. No name can be considered to be a wild card. Is part of. This foreign funding is a funding source. Is a funding source. Is a funding source. So there you go. I've just created a very simple tree structure representing my understanding of funding. Okay. Well, as I have shown you in a previous video, you can always bring into this network the elements connected to an individual element. For example, what was said in regards to church funding, right-click, import neighbors, import quotations, right? And there you have this quotation over here, which has to do with state funding as well as church funding. Now, you don't have to bring quotations into this network. It's really up to you. But by doing this, you are somehow bridging the gap between conceptualization and the data represented by quotations. But as I said, it is not necessary for you, it's not a requirement, I meant to say, for you to insert actual quotations into this network view. Now let me show you here the nodes can change if you want to make them simple, flat, gradient, shadow. Let's say flat. And if I want to include the name of the relation as part of just the short one, which is when you create the relations, you are given the option of giving a short name and then a symbol as well. Okay, but having the name, I think, is the best. And you also have the choice of adding more information to the codes. Let's see, notes here, view, show frequencies. So G means groundedness. The code funding has a groundedness level of 0, which means that it is not connected to any quotation, while it has a density level of 1 because there is one connection between that code and another code. In other words, this code is connected to only one code in a direct linkage, which is this one, right? And this one has a density which is higher. It's the one with the highest density. It is the one that is at the center of this model, right? Density of 4, because it is linked to funding, foreign funding, state funding, and church funding. All right, so that is what I wanted to show you in terms of linking codes to codes semantically. Now I will show you how to do this with quotations. So to do this, let me see, I will create another network. So I go to Home, New Entities, New Network, and I will say, I don't know, the arguments, right? Because these semantic linkages between quotations, they really represent an effort to describe how these people are building their arguments, you see. So we are working here at the level of arguments, at the level of the data. In the funding sources network, what we did there by connecting semantically codes to codes is we were building a kind of a theory, right? A model representing our understanding. Therefore, we were working more at a theoretical level, a higher level of abstraction. And now we're going to be working at a lower level of abstraction with the actual quotations. And I can select whatever quotations I want from one single document or across documents. I'm going to do this in a very random way, okay, without paying too much attention to the meaning of these quotations, just for you to see what I can do, okay? All right, so here we go. And I will say, well, first of all, let me open the view. I want to see the preview of the quotations, okay? So I can see what they are about. And now you start engaging in this effort of trying to make sense of how is it that this, what I like to refer to as individual units of the discourse, relate with each other. So let's be very creative here. And I will say that what this person is saying in 3.4 is explaining what the photograph is showing. And I will say that what 5.2 is saying is supporting what is said by the picture. And I will say that what 5.2 is saying, which by the way, 5 means that this quotation comes from document 5, and 2 means that it is the second quotation created in that document. So I'm going to say that 5.2 is contradicting what is meant by 3.2. So there we go. We have our semantic linkages. Semantic linkages between quotations are also known as hyperlinks. we can link semantically quotations from within an individual document, but also across documents. Okay, and now let's take a look at this using one of the layouts. Let's try another layout. Let's try another one. No, I do not like that for sure. That is okay, but not very nice. Let's try this one. I do not like that one. Radial. Not really. You know what I like? I like this hierarchical, maybe the tree one. Yeah, that's very simple. But my favorite ones have always been, for many years, the orthogonal layouts. All right, so there you go. You have that quotation 5.2 is supporting 2.1 and it is contradicting 3.2. And 2.1 is being explained by 3.4. And that is what I wanted to show you. These are the semantic linkages between quotations and semantic linkages between codes. Both represent efforts to interpret, efforts to make sense of linkages between codes, working more of at a theoretical level, conceptual level, while linkages between quotations, we are really working more at the data level. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.